We are back. We made it for another episode. We survived the last few weeks. That's awesome. And if you're listening to this, it means you survived the last few weeks after our first episode launched. So let's get right back into it. This is the guy doing things. And if you can't believe it or not, we're at episode 2 already. We can't believe it. But we're ready and we're looking forward to it. This is the guy doing things, episode 2. This one is titled The Books I've Read. So if you're not a reader, switch off now. So let's get right back into it with the podcast thing. I hope you enjoyed the first episode. If you haven't listened to it yet, it was on adventures. It's also available on this page, podmedia.org.za, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you listen to it, please give me some feedback, as well as on this one as well. Let's get on with it. So, Ogmandino, if you know of him or know about him, then give me a call, because I don't think there are a lot of people who do know about him. But he wrote a legendary book called The Greatest Salesman in the World, and it's one of the thinnest books I've ever read. It can fit into my back jean pocket, which says a lot because I wear a size medium pants. So how did this book have such a big impact on me? In short, it's about this ancient scrolls being passed on by individuals. And the first one who got it was only allowed to pass it on to a next single person. And the third person who got the scrolls was allowed to share it with the entire world, which obviously is what happened in this book. And the knowledge shared then in this little pocket size book is from the third person who received it. And it's a fantastic book. I mean, the 10 scrolls just completely changed my perspective on life. And I am going to read a few parts out of the book, but if you haven't got your hands on it, it's available on Takealot. I think it's 97 Rand, which is very, very cheap for a book, and it's a very quick read, easy read, and I promise it'll definitely change a lot of your perspectives that you have. This is quite in the middle of the book. It's chapter 11, the scroll marked 4. Now, this is how most of the chapters start, and they go through each of the scrolls. And this chapter goes as follows. I am nature's greatest miracle. Since the beginning of time, never has there been any another with my mind, my heart, my eyes, my ears, my hands, my hair, and my mouth. None that came before, none that live today, and none that come tomorrow can walk and talk and move and think exactly like me. Now, why this shook my worldview is because we are conditioned these days to either think too much of ourselves or too little. And this kind of just puts everything into perspective. We are an amazing miracle. So in this chapter, what it basically comes down to is that we kind of shouldn't be here today. There are too many things going on around the world that could have happened to us, which would have made that we wouldn't be here today, and we are. And so, if you're listening to this, you are life's greatest miracle, which is amazing. And if we realize that, we'd be so much better off. And the other one is it links a lot with my humor mindset. It's chapter 14, the scroll marked 7. So it goes like this. I will laugh at the world. No living creature can laugh except man. Trees may bleed when they are wounded, and beasts in the field will cry in pain and hunger. Yet only I have the gift of laughter. and it is mine to use whenever I choose. Henceforth I will cultivate the habit of laughter. I tried to read it in an accent and I mispronounced the word. But anyway, the point is we should laugh more a bit. We should laugh a bit more. More a bit. Nice. We should all laugh a bit more. Laugh at yourself, laugh at your surroundings. Humor is completely necessary. Cool. Then the other book. So go get that. The Greatest Salesman in the World by Ogmandino. The second book, also a very thin book. I decided to discuss all my thin books tonight. It's called No Sugar Please, Musings for Men. Created by Ernst van Wyk and Marinus Gubitz. Hope I pronounced his surname correctly, Marinus. Sorry if I don't. It's a very amusing book of advice for men, and I loved it. It's such a quick read. The back of the book basically just sums up the type of humor in the book. It says, "So you're a man, are you? You like reading, but not too much. Looking for guidance and wisdom in life? Want to risk a few bucks on a potential laugh or two? Buy this book. Or read a few parts of it every time you visit this bookshop. It shouldn't take you more than an hour or so to finish if you put your mind to it. Either way, enjoy your day." So yeah, that's something that I enjoyed very much. The type of humor is quite intriguing and correctly described as a children's book for grown-ups. And it gives real life advice on things like women and shaving and sports and friendships. It's really a cool book, and it changed my life in terms of taking myself too seriously. This book kind of forced me to just have a bit more fun. That's what I felt I needed to share tonight. I'm gonna have a guest coming on later, Ernst, and you'll hear a bit from him and the books he read. So if you want to buy those two books, it's No Sugar Please, Musings for Men, and then The Greatest Salesman in the World by Ogmandino. Stay tuned for my interview with Ernst. Ernst, welcome.
Oh, no, thank you for having me on, Thornton. It's nice of you to put me on one of your first episodes, and I'll see what I can tell you to maybe enlighten your audience.
Great, thank you so much, and thank you for calling in. I know you've got a busy schedule, that's why we couldn't get together, but yeah, it's nice that you could take some time out of your schedule to actually do the call with me.
No, absolutely no problem, man. I'm happy to always share some thoughts, and if anyone cares to listen, that's even better.
Great, yeah, that's awesome, man. So, Ernst, just tell us where you're from originally, man. Are you a Pretoria boykie or where you from?
So currently I'm staying in Pretoria, but I grew up in Malmesbury, a small town about an hour's drive from Cape Town. I spent my entire life there. And then I went to Stellenbosch to study there for 4 years. And now I'm here in Pretoria because I got a job with AfriForum. So I've been here since January.
Nice. Have you shaken off the Cape accent already or not?
Not yet, man. People are picking it up very quickly. I mean, the first day I walked into the office, everyone was just like, "Oh, yeah, he has a cute accent, eh?"
Nice. But I hope you enjoyed Pretoria. The episode today is about the books I've read, and I shared with the people some of the interesting books I've read. But I want to hear some of your insights, man. Is there any two books that completely changed your life or changed your opinion, or maybe just a fiction one that got your creative side going?
Right. Well, let me say I'll name one non-fiction and one fiction because they both had a pretty big impact on me. Firstly, one of my favorite books, The Outsider by the philosopher Albert Camus, which is just a short summary, is about a man who refuses to lie, about the main character is someone that doesn't fit in because he doesn't play the game. He just goes through life exactly how he wants on his terms, and he never is disingenuous or tells even a white lie just for the sake of making people happy. He always speaks his mind at all times.
And did that inspire you to also tell no lies?
Yes, it inspired me to be genuine. I found a lot that I saw of myself in the main character, and I found some solace in the fact that it's sometimes it does pay to be an outsider, and sometimes there's a cost to it as well. You get benefits, you get the self-respect, you get the autonomy and the individuality from it, but also you're not always going to fit in. You're not always going to be the friend of everyone. But I don't think anyone should go through the world having just everyone be their friend. I mean, I always say, imagine having so little impact on the world that nobody hates you.
Yeah, that's a good quote. And the other book that you've read that changed the way you think?
Right. So the second book I actually finished this year. It's called Righteous Indignation by Andrew Breitbart. And it's a political book about just the media and the political environment in the United States in the 21st century, and how he founded Breitbart News and also the Huffington Post. And he just wrote about how he maneuvered within that very hostile environment where everyone seems to conform and everyone has the same opinions, and if you just deviate a little bit from the dogma, you're instantly exiled from the community or from those very special circles. So he just wrote a book on his experiences starting up media companies, surviving in an environment where you can't always speak your mind, and also giving some rules for anyone else that wants to enter media or wants to enter a political environment, but how to make a success of it in an environment that may be very hostile towards some of your views. So that also gave me a lot of insight, especially in my job today, where I do a lot of interviews, where I write a lot of press releases, where I write some articles of my own. It has given me a lot of tips and tricks to maneuver within that environment.
That's great. It's interesting to hear. And you say you're writing some articles. Speaking about the books we've read, is there a book you plan to write in the close future?
Well, I don't think I'll be writing a book in the future, but I am dabbling a little bit in opinion pieces and articles. I've written for the Rational Standard and also for Politics Web and for Marula Media so far, all this year.
Great. So where can we find your writing, Ernst?
Well, you can, I think, to find my Rational Standard article, you can just Google South Africa Needs Patriots. And to find my Marula Media articles, you can just type in Marula Media Ernst van Zyl, and they will probably pop up. And for my Politics Web one, it was more of a very niche article on the public protector, but you can search public protector or public threat Politics Web, and you should be able to find it.
Great. Thank you so much, Ernst, and thank you for sharing with us. And is there any way we can find you on social media? Are you active on social media? If someone's listening, or if they're intrigued by what you write, how can they get hold of you?
Well, I actually post under a pseudonym, but it's not that. It's pretty much an open secret. I post under Conscious Caracal on Twitter and on YouTube. So that is, you can just type in Conscious Caracal if you can spell conscious, and you will definitely be directed to me.
Great. I'll also share that on my pages if some of the people ask. But thank you so much for your time, Ernst, and thanks for the insight. And I think hopefully we motivated some people to go and buy those two books. I'll definitely have a read of those. Thank you so much.
Absolutely no problem. I think we're entering a new time now where just reading up on things that are interesting didn't used to be such a common thing. People kind of forgot that art, but now people seem to be slowly getting into it again as people listen to podcasts and get recommended new books. So yeah, you're doing a good job giving people some recommendations, definitely.
Great. Thank you so much, Ernst, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
No, same to you, man.
Cheers. Speaking of cheers, that was it for tonight. So, if you loved the episode, please like it, comment, share. If you didn't like it, also tell us. And we will try to do it better next time. But thank you so much for listening. This was The Guy Doing Things. And we'll catch you next time.